It's like seeing someone shitting in their pants, and you said, "You want to go to the bathroom?" And they're going, no, it's okay. I'm just relieving myself. Some bullshit like that.
I just shouted.
I just feel more comfortable when I have shit streaming down my legs. Welcome to Sex Talk with My Mom. I'm Cam Poter.
And I'm KarenLee Poter.
That's my mother.
And that's my son.
We chat about sex on a weekly basis and all the things you typically don't talk about with a parent.
We like to make the most uncomfortable conversations comfortable.
So strap in,
strap on,
and enjoy the ride. Welcome to Sex Talk with My Mom. I'm Cam Poter.
And I'm KarenLee Poter.
That is my mother, who's actually in a different room than me. We're in completely different apartments right now.
You sound shocked.
Well, the listeners don't know that we have a COVID convalescent patient on our hands.
We do. His name is Cam Poter.
Cam, the COVID patient.
Cam, the COVID kid. Yeah, I mean, you're probably not contagious anymore, but we're just being safe.
I'm definitely contagious.
We normally record in a studio, and we're recording in our domiciles.
I tested again today. Today is the 9th day of testing positive for COVID-19.
Mazel tov.
Thank you so much. And I made it through the storm. You can hear it in my voice, the scar-torn voice.
I have to say that you are very mature about having COVID. I thought you'd be a little more freaked out.
Fuck, very mature. I was in Chicago by myself, away from you. I think that's what allowed me to heal the quickest.
Oh, like if I was around you, you'd heal. You would not heal quickly?
It
What does
would
that
be
mean?
double the time.
Why? What?
Because I basically have to be taking care of you the whole time.
What are you talking about? What
You're
do you
making
do
sure that you don't have COVID. Oh, yeah. You know how this goes. All right.
And you're worried about your grandmother having COVID, even though you saw her like a week before.
We're going to go through that, how I almost killed my grandma. We'll go through that soon, but let's start with a question of the week. Okay? We start every week with a question to inspire our conversation. And this question I came up with this morning because I noticed some changes. So the question of the week is, how has your horniness changed over time?
Why don't you go first, Cam?
I have noticed a change in my horniness. It's a lot like a roller coaster. There are weeks where it's a complete drought. Nothing. There's just no horniness whatsoever.
Is this hormonally related?
I don't know if it's hormonal, if it's mental, physical. Who knows what the fuck it is?
Well, certainly you're not going to get horny during COVID.
Oh, I was definitely horny during COVID.
You got horny during COVID?
We'll talk about that too. I had a whole...
I mean, yeah, I guess if you're home alone and you're doing nothing, you can end up getting horny.
Yeah, but I was not allowing myself to masturbate during that time.
Why?
I convinced myself that if I allowed, I don't know how this got in my mind, but somehow, I knew that COVID somehow affects fertility, and so I was starting to think, well, if I start mixing up all the juices and there was a multitude of factors here. One was like, if I start pumping out some semen left and right, then my balls are just going to fill with COVID. That was one thought.
Ho. Well, that was just one thought. That's like normal that everybody would have that kind of thought.
Okay.
No, that's not normal, Cam.
Okay.
Your balls will fill up with COVID if you expel semen. That does not make any sense.
I didn't want to.
That's illogical.
I did not want a COVID cock. I had just learned about seminal vesicles being in the process. I didn't want to get involved with that shit. So that there was another reason too, which was that I really wanted to focus all of my attention on survival and not dying from this disease. So I decided I don't need to be producing more little, people basically in my testicles. Little
people
sperm,
in your testicles.
Little sperm. I don't need to expel any energy into my balls. I need it all going into my white blood cells and all that.
Did you ever think that maybe like if you expelled, it would create healthy new sperm?
No. I was thinking it was gonna have COVID sperm.
Okay.
So I was alone, getting very horny, refusing to do any masturbation.
And do you think if you had masturbated, your COVID would have ended sooner?
No, I don't think so. No.
All right.
I don't think masturbation's a cure for the COVID, actually.
I think masturbation is a cure to everything. Your father used to say that to me.
Masturbation's the cure for everything?
No, he'd say that having sex is a cure for a cold. So
You make it sound like my dad was a big horn dog.
100%. He said it anytime, any day, any place, in the middle of the night, wake me up, let's have sex.
Wow. I will say that over time, my libido, my horniness has waxed and waned. And when I was a little kid, it was through the roof. Anything could fucking turn me on. Then I would go through, maybe there were decades where just no sexual desire.
I told you when you were 6 years old, you got horny watching soap opera and asked me about why your penis hurt.
I was just joking about the decades, by the way.
Oh, okay. So
I've only lived 3 decades. How would full decades go by?
One of the decades was when you were 6.
Six?
Six.
I started young. Started very young with the horniness. Anyway, I think my libido has always remained intact, actually. It's very unusual. I mean, I haven't gone great spells with lack of desire unless it's like depression related or something like that. But,
I agree with that. I think I'm the same way. I wonder if everybody's the same way.
So how would you respond to that question? How has your horniness changed over time?
Well,
You've lived more decades than I have.
I've lived, 6 decades, right? I'm in my 60s, okay? So let's go with the first decade up to 10. I was experimenting.
We're breaking this down?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm experimenting, okay, with other girlfriends. Like, well, maybe, I don't know if it was, that might have been in the teen decades, but definitely experimenting, like, not like touching vagina or anything, but more like giving each other back rubs or pretending to like make out with a toothbrush at slumber parties. I remember these things.
What do you mean pretending to make out with a toothbrush?
Yeah.
What the fuck is it pretending to make out with a toothbrush?
We take a toothbrush and we pretending to make out with it.
What do you mean pretend? It's either you. What are you pretending?
I don't know. It just means putting a toothbrush in my mouth and pretending to.
It sounds like you're brushing your teeth.
All right. Whatever, Cam. I'm just giving you an example of. I remember that's what I felt like in the first decade. The second decade in my teens, complete horn monster. Like a guy.
Horn monster.
Yes. A guy put his arm around me, touched the side of my boob. I almost came.
Oh my God. Horn monster.
I was a horn monster in my teens, 20s. I got married, still horny. 30s.
Then the kids come.
So, late 20s when your sister came, that was the end of that.
That was the end. The beginning and the end.
Crying constantly. It doesn't make you in the mood at all.
Not
Kids
fun.
are definitely boner killers.
Do you think that relative to my sister, did I increase libido or decrease libido?
I would say decrease libido.
Even further.
Yeah, now there's 2 kids. I got one kid pulling at me, the other one grabbing at me. I don't want to have sex with that going on.
That's fair. All right, and then you went through a
renaissance in my
40s?
40s when your father passed away. I became single again, and
the horn monster returns.
Horn monster comes in full throttle.
Oh my God,
that must have been the horniest of all. And also, just so you know, there's scientific backing for this.
Oh boy,
that women hit their sexual peak in their 40s.
Oh wow,
it's like the last hurrah. Your body's telling you better do this quickly because otherwise you're not going to have any more kids. So it's like your body telling you to be horny.
Oh, interesting.
Scientific research says that. I kind of made that up, but I'm sure there's scientific reason to back up.
Jesus Christ!
What I just said.
This whole show is just misinformation. That's it. You're just bleeding out misinformation.
Excuse me. I'm waiting for our sneaky freaks to call in, text us, let us know.
310-356-3920.
Oh, COVID brain did not hit you. You remembered that.
Okay, so then the 50s and 60s. How has it been?
50s and 60s, a mixture of horniness and exhaustion.
Exhaustion?
Yeah, especially because I was with the same partner for 14 years. Still am. So when you're with the same partner, you don't have the same degree of horniness as when you're out there, looking for love in all the wrong places.
That's right, yeah.
So that was Horny Through the Decades with KarenLee Poter.
I love it, mother. Love it. Let's listen. How about the sneaky freaks responses?
I'd love to hear what they had to say. I'm curious.
Okay, so we got many responses. By the way, if you're just tuning into this show, you can get a weekly text message from us, and we will, chit-chat back and forth if you want to sometimes. Just give us a text.
Yeah, we don't spam or anything like that.
We don't
worry
spam.
about that.
Give us a text at 310-356-3920. And this was the question of the week. How has your horniness changed over time? Drew says, my horniness continues to increase. Being in my early 30s, it is the same level as in my teens, but has now grown from just sex and blowjobs to more kinks. Oh, wow.
Oh, that we didn't even discuss that aspect.
We didn't even think about what you're getting horny for.
Yeah, or what
That could
your
change.
horniness has turned into. Yeah.
How about Jay, who says, just as horny as ever in my 40s. Same partner for 20 years, still good for 3 times a day. Sex 2 times a week minimum. If you want to be good at something, there's no substitute for daily practice and learning. That's from Jay.
Jay, you horny little thing. You horny toad.
Would you? Oh, horny toad? Okay. I was going to ask you if he's a horn monster like you were, but it sounds like he's a horny toad instead. Sage says, my horniness depends on the person I'm with. The more sex I have, the more I want, and the less I get, the less I want.
That is very profound there, Sage.
Very profound.
There's a lot to be unpacked on that one.
You're like a wise sage, Sage.
Well, let me just say, in terms of that aspect, I kind of feel that way too. When my partner is like sick and tired and not that horny, then obviously I'm going to feel that energy and not be, very horny either.
How often is he sick and tired?
He goes through phases where, like right now he's going through a phase with his tooth. It's abscessed and his face looks like one side of it looks like a golf ball.
So there's no kissing or anything going on right now with the tooth?
Kissing? Well, yeah, we might kiss, but I mean, he's certainly not in the mood when he's in complete pain. I think that's the other thing that so far no one's brought up is how hormones and illness and medications, affect horniness.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we have to be grateful when we are horny. It means we're we're healthy enough to want to reproduce. It's very good.
I don't know if you want to reproduce at all. I think maybe you just want to get off.
Get off, yeah. Ciara says, my horniness has increased, but my libido has decreased. How is that possible?
I don't know.
I am horny more and want to play and orgasm, but I am too tired and sometimes stressed to start anything with my partner. Also, never needed foreplay before, but now it's absolutely necessary. Is it age? Is it the chemistry between my partner and me? Is it my body and the extra COVID weight? Makes me wonder if others are experiencing something similar and if it's an outcome of the pandemic.
Okay, first of all, yes, and yes.
Yes, and yes to what?
But to all those things that she brought
chemistry,
up. It's chemistry. Let's start with that. I mean, part of it is that, it's the same person, so the chemistry cannot be nearly as strong as when you first meet someone. There's all these mysteries.
You don't think the chemistry deepens?
No.
Oh, interesting.
It could stay the same. Maybe it could deepen at certain times, but as a whole, I think most people have to kind of work at that.
How about
my
age?
Opinion. Age for sure, and hormones, yeah.
But you're saying that as you get into the 40s, you might be the horniest ever.
True, and also depending on like what your situation is. Are you single? Are you with a partner? Are you married? Are you getting divorced? I mean, divorced women or widows in particular are horny as fuck.
Horny as fuck. This is who I should be looking for.
Yes, I've been telling you that.
I know, mother. And then she goes on to say, is it the body and the extra COVID weight?
I mean, if you don't feel sexy, yes, that's a big part of it. Sex comes from within first. So if you don't feel like you're a sexy person, then how are you going to get in the mood?
Not saying that if you have extra COVID weight that you're not sexy, but you might feel a certain way about yourself.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking is going on here.
That's it. All right. Well, that's very interesting. Raylene goes on to say, it ebbs and flows. Sometimes I'm ready to rock all the time, and other times I'm thinking, don't even think about it. I'd like to think it's a good mixture.
It's a good mixture, Raylene. Totally.
It is amazing how it can ebb and flow within a week. Within
a day.
I mean, so for me, it's so work related too. If I'm inundated with work, I don't got time to be jerking off.
You're always working, Kim.
So that's why I jerk off once a week when I'm not COVID convalescent.
Well, oh my God.
Sierra says, my whole life I have had a lot of horniness and hopefully always will be horny. I'm a female about to turn 30.
You know what? You got to think of the source of all of our sneaky freaks. A lot of them are horny.
Horn dogs.
That's why they're on this on our text chain all together.
That's right. They're freaky.
Some of them are voyeur sneaky freaks.
Yeah. Horn dogs, horn monsters, horny toads.
Exhibitionists.
We got Glenda, who said we had multiple Glendas chiming in, by the way. So
impossible.
I swear to God, back to back. One of them says, "Hi, I'll soon be 53. If I had a local boyfriend, he'd probably leave me because he couldn't keep up to the demand. My horniness has definitely increased with age. Not sure if it's age or just being satisfied with my partner." Very interesting.
That's another thing, how you relate to your partner.
So this is a situation, the longer you're with someone, you're more comfortable, you get hornier.
Right.
Very interesting.
Another thing that no one said yet is if you're on the birth control or not, or if you're, if you have to wear a condom or if you don't have to wear a condom.
Can I just say something?
Wait, can you be more horny? Would you be more horny if you were comfortable and didn't need to wear a condom?
I'm horny regardless, condom or condom.
Would it make you more horny?
I don't know. It's equal horniness. For
like
me,
if you didn't have to wear a condom, would you be like a crazed monster?
A horn monster?
Yes. Would you be a horn monster?
I might be a horn monster. I already think if there is a woman in my life, a horn monster, out of control. When I'm by myself, less so.
It's because you're working too much.
Because I'm working too much. And it's also something depressing about getting all horned up by yourself.
Why?
I get horned up and I feel the horniness. But it's interesting. It's not. It just is not satisfied. I've talked about this ad nauseum on the show.
I don't care. I don't understand why it's not okay.
Satisfying.
So what if it's not satisfying? What does it have to be like?
Okay, imagine
in a zen-like satisfaction.
No. This is the feeling. Okay, imagine all you want to do is eat fucking a huge, like a juicy hamburger. Okay, you're starving. You haven't eaten all day. You're looking for a big, juicy fucking hamburger. And you're in a room that's just full of fucking creme brulees. The creme brulee is nice, but it's just not going to make you fucking satisfied.
Cam, why are you always worried about how much food you're eating?
No, I'm not worried about food. I'm telling you, it's just not satisfying. I'm trying to get some fucking protein in my body, and all I can get is this fucking bougie-ass creme brulee.
Just enjoy the goddamn creme brulee.
I don't want to have a dinner of creme brulee.
Well,
when was the last time you had just creme brulee for dinner?
Why don't you just enjoy just having sex with yourself and not super analyze anything?
So I just I could just feel myself. I'm like, I just want the connection. I don't give a fuck about this girl getting pounded in the ass or some shit.
What are you talking about, pounding in the ass?
And Pornhub or something like that. It's just so. I'm just looking for. I'm like, oh God, literally. I'm thinking to myself last night. Is there anyone in my phone book who would just want to have some fucking phone sex or something where I will both feel comfortable and just get off and just express desire from one another? What?
And go in the chat rooms.
What chat rooms?
You pay for sex chat rooms.
I'm not going to pay for sex chat rooms. Plus, I know that they're not really getting off, and it's also not. It's the mutual desire, you know.
I guess so, Cam. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. You'll find someone eventually.
Who's worrying? Who's worrying? I'm just saying. I'm fucking eating creme brulee all the fucking time when I want a goddamn hamburger.
First of all, you don't even eat red meat.
That's not the point, mother.
Okay.
All right. Should we do a couple more and wrap this segment up, Mother?
Yes.
This is from Gigi. She says, I've been through many stages in my life. I started early at the age of 8 having sex. Unfortunately, it wasn't by my request, but it did send me on the path of being very horny at a young age at one time in my 20s. I think I was having sex at least 12 times a day. Needless to say,
12 times a day.
More than one partner in order to keep up with me. And then things started to slow down in my 30s, where I was still doing it at least 5 to 10 times a week. Then my 40s rolled around, and I was only doing it probably 5 times a week, maybe 3 days a week. But now that I'm in my 50s, I've only had sex 2 times in the last 7 years. So hopefully I'll find someone to give me that loving feeling back again. Thanks for including me in your questionnaire.
There were so many interesting thoughts I had listening to that.
Wait, one last thing. She says, now it would be different if you had asked me how many times do you have an orgasm? Because I still have orgasms weekly. Unfortunately, they're by my own doing, your freaky friend Gigi. Thank you, Gigi.
Why are you saying unfortunately? So what? What difference does it matter if you're having it by yourself or you're having it with a partner? I mean, no judgments here. There's sometimes would rather just do it by myself and get it over with real quickly than have to have it drawn out with my partner.
Grass is always greener. A little.
The grass is
situation.
always greener on
By the way,
somebody else's front lawn.
I want to acknowledge that she talks about how her first sexual encounter was 8 years old, not by her own request. Very
sad.
Very sad. Especially
very scary too.
Especially in light of today's news about Roe versus Wade getting overturned.
All right, we're going to get to that in a minute. I just wanted to say something. I thought of something that Gigi said.
Not excited about the nature. Okay, go on.
Well, I thought about, I had sex with 2 guys in one day once. Way back when I was in college.
It just came back to you like a flashback?
Yeah, it just came back.
Were they like hours apart or no?
I think one was afternoon and one was in the night. And then when I was single in my 40s, I think I did 2 days in a row with 2 different guys.
Oh my God. You're a horn monster, mother.
I'm boring. Now I'm so boring. I'm very, very vanilla.
Yeah, I think I had 2 partners in the same year once.
You know what? Irony is going to be, we're going to be doing this podcast a year from now. You're going to be having sex 24/7. I'll be having sex once a year.
You've told me for years that, next year, you're going to be a fucking catch.
Next year in Jerusalem. You're going to be a fucking catch, Cam.
But this is, Gigi's response.
Catch right now.
Gigi's response, thank you, mother. Gigi's response really does show me that things really do change over time,
100%. As you get to be my age, for sure.
How about Jody, who says, my sex drive went from almost nothing in my 20s and 30s to wanting to explore anything and everything sexually the older I get. I'm 50 and proud to say that I look and feel better than I ever have, other than a few wrinkles.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that late 40s, if you were smart, Kim, you go out and go to find the late 40s girl.
Where am I going out?
Just start going out again. Now that you hit COVID, go wild.
I can't find someone in the 20s or 30s. How am I going to find someone in their 40s?
I talk about this all the time, Cam. I talk about it daily on TikTok.
Do you know
the way you find older women?
Yeah.
Is you think to yourself, what do I enjoy doing? What are your passions? What are things that you find fun? And you're thinking, besides work.
Yeah, clown shows.
Clown shows. You go to clown shows. There'll be older women at clown shows too.
Never.
And that's where you meet them.
When have you ever seen an older woman at a clown show? You hate clown shows.
All right. Can't you pick wine, like wine tasting? Pick wine tasting.
Why do you have
You'll
to dictate
find older
my interests?
women. All right. Pick political
all right, you know what?
Charitable things. There's something like that. That's what I tell all the guys. They always ask me, where can I find older women? That's where you find them.
I do think that Los Angeles is a bit different, and we don't need to go into this fully, but I do think sometimes I look out on Los Angeles and I'm like, you know what? It feels like a little like WALL-E and the last machine that exists on this planet.
And then I get guys writing into me all the time saying, I'm in a small town. It's impossible to meet older women in a small town. I got people overseas in India saying that it's taboo and that it can't be. Everyone's saying it can't meet older women. Well, you can.
All right, let's wrap it up, mother.
All right.
Mike, this will be the final one because we haven't done a guy in a little bit. Mike says, started out like a raging fire, and over time, with age, that fire only rages now and then. Age is catching up with me.
Yeah, so men, it seems like in their 20s and 30s are horned up like there's no tomorrow. 40s, 50s, 60s, except for our elder statesman, Tom. He is still ramping up. But other than that, Mr. Bean too, horn dogs. There's a lot out there that are just getting tired. And that's probably why I went with a younger guy.
Yeah, what's interesting is as I've talked to my friends, the ones that are in couples, the libido actually switches within the couple, where it seems like the woman gets hornier as the fire rages on in the couple, and the man actually gets a little less horny.
That makes sense, though.
It can create some issues between them. I've heard this from multiple friends of mine.
That makes sense to me because a woman is now comfortable. She could tell the guy what she wants done to her. The foreplay is going to be what she wants instead of just like having some guy just jerk off on her.
And then the guy, it's interesting because in our culture, the guy is supposed to always want to have sex. You know,
Right.
this is something I don't agree with, but that's the stigma in our culture.
It's a stigma.
And so when the guys come to me and they tell me, I don't want to have sex as much as my wife or my girlfriend, there's usually a shame associated with that
Of
because
course.
they feel
It's
like
not manly.
it's not manly, right? But this
Yeah.
is actually, I think, quite natural.
Right. Especially, like I said, guys in their 20s, 30s, they're like really, really horny. And then once they start getting their rocks off, they're not as horny as much anymore.
Yeah, it could be like a new thing. The Coolidge effect. Here we go.
The Coolidge effect.
All right, Mother, I
Yes.
think that wraps up this segment of the question of the week.
I think so too.
Mother,
Yes.
when I see someone smoking, I feel so bad for them. They're destroying their lungs. They probably don't want to be smoking, but they just don't have a way to stop.
It's really hard to quit.
It's really hard to quit that habit. And now we are sponsored by an amazing company called Fume that creates a natural inhaler designed for a better, safer, and natural way to quit cigarettes.
It's not smoke, it's not vape, and there's no nicotine.
And it smells delicious. And they use these things called cores, okay? They're infused with plant oils studied to curb cravings. And I just love puffing away at this thing all day long. And all their flavors are 100% natural. There's no harmful chemicals, no artificial flavors, and absolutely no nicotine. I mean, the key is that it really helps you replace the habit with
Right.
something that's healthier because it's a really hard thing to break. It's a beautiful little way to quit smoking. And my friends, they have thousands of reviews from smokers who have tried everything else, and this was the one that really worked. We highly recommend it. Whether you are a smoker or an ex-smoker who still struggles with cravings, Fume is the perfect tool for you. Head to breathefume.com/mom and use code MOM to save 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your entire order when you head to breathefum.com/mom and use code MOM.
Get rid of that nasty habit, Cam. Get rid of it.
Who's got the money to smoke these days?
That's another good cause.
My dear sneaky freaks, if you're listening to this show, you probably like to have sex. And if you like to have sex, you should know if you are STI free. And how do you do that? Everlywell.
Everlywell is digital healthcare designed for you, all at an affordable and transparent price.
What that means is that Everlywell will send you out one of their at-home lab tests that will test you for 7 different types of STDs.
And also women's health test, which is the one I did.
Pretty much anything you want to learn about your health, you can do so by taking an Everlywell test. They have 30 different types of at-home lab tests that you can take from the comfort of your own home. Here's how it works. Everlywell ships products straight to you with everything needed in one package.
So you take your at-home lab tests, you simply collect a sample, use the included prepaid shipping label, and mail your test back to a certified lab. Then your physician-reviewed results get sent to your phone and device in just a few days.
It's so simple. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell to support their health and wellness goals, and you should too. For listeners of the show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/sneaky. That's 20% off. Just go to everlywell.com/sneaky for 20% off your next at-home lab test. everlywell.com/sneaky, SNEAKY. That link is in the episode's description. Should we go into what's new in our lives?
I think we should. Cam, what's new in your life?
Well, as you can hear, I am a victim of COVID-19.
Everyone feels for you, Cam.
Do you know how I got this?
Oh, I know you're going to blame it on me. 100% it's being blamed on me,
I'm
even though
not.
I did not have COVID.
I absolutely am not going to blame it on you.
All right. How did you get it? Are you talking about the
only
airplane?
person I know who possibly could have had this was on an airplane with me.
I think you got a point there because I was two rows behind you.
I was going into fucking restaurants completely masked. I went into 2 restaurants during the course of like that week. Okay?
I know, you were totally paranoid the whole time. I'm running around in and out of restaurants, no mask,
I was
no
extremely
nothing.
safe. The only thing I could have thought was on the airplane. And here's what happened, folks. I'm sitting on the airplane. I got an aisle seat, okay? And across the aisle from me in the fucking window is a woman who is coughing so loudly.
Yeah, I definitely heard her. Two rows back, I heard her. It was phlegmy.
It sounds like she's trying to remove her lung through her mouth, okay? It's horrible. And I'm thinking to myself, we're about to take off. She's not wearing a mask, okay?
Which is rude. You know, I get that they're not mandated anymore, but come on, people. Even if they're not mandated, if you've got a cough, even if it's like an allergy, I hate when they say allergies, or I have a cold. Even if it's an allergy or a cold, put the mask on anyway.
I'm wearing 2 masks at this point, a KN95 and a surgical mask. I'm trying to cover the shit up. And so I see her point to her stunky boyfriend who's sitting next to her in the middle seat.
Wait, how do you know that she has a stunky boyfriend?
Because listen to this. She gives him the signal that she needs water because she literally can't fucking breathe. And the guy doesn't do anything about it.
Does he have a mask on?
No, he's also not wearing a fucking mask.
Dick.
So I say, okay, she needs water. This is my opportunity.
Yeah, because you were texting me and the rest of the family throughout the plane because we're all spread out.
Yes, I was giving everyone the play-by-play.
Yeah, we were hearing the play-by-play, and I was wondering if you were going to say something to her because I was close to saying something myself, like, hello, put the goddamn mask on, or, you know, you're infecting the whole plane.
So I say, you want water? And she goes, sure. So I go to the back of the plane. I get her a cup of water. I bring it back. That was
nice of you to do that.
I bring it back. There's some ulterior motives here. I sit down, and I just turn to her, going over the other 2 men in between us, and I say, here's the water. By the way, I don't know if this appeals to you, but I have an extra mask here.
I don't know if this appeals to you. I don't what?
I try to foist the mask on her.
To you. Why didn't you just say, you know, you're infecting the whole plane. Would you like to wear a mask? Here's an N95.
This fucking bitch is coughing. She can't even get the words out. She goes, no, I'm just losing my voice.
Losing their voice. I constantly hear that. Losing your voice is
losing
equivalent to saying, voice? I have COVID and I don't want to admit it.
What the fuck is that shit?
Or they took one home test, probably didn't even do it right. It comes out negative and they say, oh, I'm free. I don't have it.
It's like seeing someone shitting in their pants and you said, you want to go to the bathroom? And they're going, no, it's okay. I'm just relieving myself. Some bullshit like that.
I just shouted.
I just feel more comfortable when I have shit streaming down my legs. What the fuck kind of response is, no, I don't want to wear a mask, you fucking bitch. Next thing you know, I'm fucking completely contaminated.
Well, especially when you walked over there, even though you had a couple of masks on, maybe she couldn't hear what you were saying.
She understood exactly what I was fucking saying.
She didn't get the nuanced strash.
She was pounding the fucking those little hard candy, the
she had full-blown COVID. She got on a plane with full-blown COVID and didn't give a rat's ass, and she wasn't going to wear a mask because it's uncomfortable for her. So she doesn't care. She just infects every single person on the plane.
So then, of course, the day before I'm supposed to fly to Mexico with all my friends, I come down with the positive test. Hard-line positive test. I was not excited about it.
You had been every day testing, and it was all negative. And
yes.
All of a sudden, I thought you were, again, being a hypochondriac because I thought, you have a little tickle in your throat, so why are you testing?
First of all, I didn't even have, at that point, I had just exhaustion. And I literally was about to go surprise my grandma with a Greek dinner. And I called on my brother and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm so fucking exhausted, but I really want to surprise Nana with this Greek dinner date.
She's been wanting that Greek food for a while.
And
she didn't want Greek food in COVID, but she wanted the Greek food.
I wanted to give it to her so bad. And then he goes, do you hear yourself? You sound horrible right now. You should not go over there. Thank God he said that. I would have surprised her. I would have pushed through, surprised Nana, maybe gotten a car crashing along the way.
Why would you?
And Nana would have been so fucking infected with COVID-19.
Oh.
Luckily, I call her up. After I get because we had been hanging out a couple days before, probably when I was shedding the virus. And I said, "How are you feeling?" And she goes, "I go, you have any symptoms?" She goes, "Oh, I got symptoms." None have to do with COVID. It was great response.
Great line, yes. She's
Anyway.
got symptoms.
She's got symptoms. Anyway, I spent the whole fucking COVID quarantine researching mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
I'm obsessed with the mushrooms.
You're talking about magic mushrooms or regular mushrooms?
Magic, regular, any type. I mean, this type of shit is medicinal. I watched this movie called Fantastic Fungi. Have you watched this?
No.
It's fantastic. They're unbelievable. It's on Netflix. I highly recommend it to everyone.
I will definitely watch that. So how many have you purchased?
And then I started seeing, I don't know if it was the COVID or what, but I started seeing mushrooms fucking everywhere. All throughout the house that I was staying at, I discovered that there was mushrooms, little mushroom figurines. There's mushrooms all over all the meals that I'm eating. I found out that there was a place next to the place I was staying that served mushroom-infused teas. When I found this out, the woman thought I must be fucking nuts because I was like dancing in the streets.
Okay, so there's mushroom coffee I heard about.
$9.36 mushroom coffee. I was not pleased by that.
Do you know about the mushroom coffee?
I drank the mushroom fucking coffee.
And what'd you think?
I like that shit.
I like that shit too.
I like that shit. So, they're starting to do trials with psilocybin this week. I also read in the news.
All right, may I suggest you don't do any trials with psilocybin?
I was thinking of becoming
Your personality is not good for this.
What do you mean? You don't think I could sit with someone who's tripping? I would be phenomenal at this.
No, you'll be freaking out, and
you'll
take mushrooms. Because I've done that. I've done mushrooms.
You don't think I've done mushrooms?
I laughed for 20 minutes straight. No, when I did them, everybody was puking. This guy walked around he walked around the sorority house, and he's going, I can't puke it out. I can't shit it out. I can't throw it up. He can't get it. I remember that he couldn't get it out of his system fast enough.
Oh my God.
That was the old mushrooms. Maybe the new ones don't do the same thing, but
it's all about getting this small microdose of the mushrooms.
Yeah, Mr. Coolness, I'm
Mr.
so cool
Coolness.
with drugs.
Yeah, I also
you don't even smoke weed, and if you do, you freak out on like a 1 milligram of THC.
All right, you don't need to rub this into my face.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying
you're more than I can.
I can't smoke much more than you can. I'm the biggest wimp on the planet. I took one of those gummies that was like with THC in it, by the way. Oh my God. First of all, my whole body got real hot.
Hot?
Hot. Then I got really horny. And then
hot and horny?
Let me tell you something. I was hot and horny. And then I don't know what happened. I must have passed out at some point. I woke up.
What the fuck?
I did not feel good. I was all agitated.
Oh.
This was. I took one gummy. It was like 10 milligrams. I cut it in half, and then I cut it in quarters. And I took a quarter, which is equivalent to 2.5. 2.5 is way too much for me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give them to my friend. I don't like. At least
when you're taking 10 milligram gummies anyway, why do you buy that?
Because that was the smallest dose, and I was going to talk about that when we were talking about my life, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to let you know that in my research with the mushrooms,
yes,
some people are researching and doing studies if it can cure, just different types of mushrooms can cure HPV and HSV, and because they're both you're
talking about herpes
and HPV. They think that it's a very viable solution to this.
That would be very nice. Very good idea.
I think I might get on this train, start just pounding mushrooms as a trial.
Just to be safe?
Then, of course, as I'm doing the research, I listened to one fucking podcast about the mushrooms. And I don't know how I found this one. It was a Radiolab episode that was all about how mushrooms have now adapted so they can live inside of our fucking blood, in our blood cells, in a bad way.
So then, who are you kidding when you're talking about
fungal infections in the blood cells?
Okay, stop with this?
I'm starting to listen to this, and they're talking about how the fungus is actually taking advantage of COVID-19 and how so many patients are in the hospital and getting all these fungal infections from transmitting from one to one. I'm looking down at my leg, and I have a huge gaping wound on my leg because in my COVID craze, I fucking smashed my leg against this metal bar. By the way, my tetanus shot fucking expires somehow next week. So now I might have tetanus. Anyway, this is all that was going. You should, and all during all this shit, I'm trying not to masturbate the whole time because I'm concerned I'm getting COVID in my balls.
COVID dick. Wait a second. So you went from a complete I'm in love with mushrooms to I'm scared the fuck out of mushrooms now?
I don't know how I found the one that fucking podcast episode about the dangers of mushrooms.
Anything in excess is not good.
It's not excess. It's just because it's very actually quite interesting. You wouldn't find this interesting. I'm not gonna share it with you.
What?
I'm not gonna share it with you. Why
would I not find what? What do you think I wouldn't find it? Is it some boring ass Zen-like thing?
And well, it's just the science around why we get along with mushrooms so well, and why we're 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit in our blood, because mushrooms typically can't live at that 98.6 degree level.
I thought we were very similar to mushrooms. It's like we're very similar to mushrooms.
We are very similar to mushrooms.
Except for body temperature?
They can't stand the heat. So that's why we're so warm-blooded.
If you can't stand the heat, mushrooms get out of the kitchen.
That's right. And what
do you mean that's right? You're supposed to laugh. That was funny. That was a pun. You never heard that? You can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen?
Yes.
So I said that about mushrooms because mushrooms typically are cooked with in the kitchen.
Mom, when you have to start explaining the jokes, it's not a good sign.
Okay.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on to your life. How are you? What's going on?
My life has just been just crazy lately.
What's going on?
Well, there's a weed store that opened up. That's what I was going to tell you. So I asked Deez if he'd go with me to the weed store.
Oh boy. You live in Los Angeles. How many? There's weed stores
every
everywhere.
Every corner.
So why do you care if there's a weed store?
What do you mean, why do I care if there's a weed store?
There's just a weed store closer to you or something like that?
Just opened up. And you get 25% off if you go in there.
Okay.
So I asked Deez to go with me, and there's nothing that gives him more joy than going into a weed store. Mm-hmm. He gets into the door, and they said, "Let me see your driver's license," and it expired. Deez's driver's license expired.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He was not happy because they wouldn't let him in. He's like, "I don't get this." I've been.
What do you mean you don't get this?
He said that he's had times with other weed stores where they don't they say he doesn't have his license. They say, "Oh, just don't worry about it."
Okay, go on.
So they kicked him out. He had to wait outside. He was none too happy. But meanwhile, I'm like, I got a cute little salesman there with some really pretty eyes. And so I'm this is what I need. I need something to sleep and something to have good sex with.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So he gave me both. I got a little bit of both. Well, the sleep thing didn't pan out, as you know.
I mean, you didn't sleep.
I didn't sleep at all.
Okay.
But the sex weed one, I got something that's Kesha. Have you ever heard of the singer Kesha? She has her own Kesha.
Yeah, you called her Kesher.
Kesher. I don't know. Whatever her name is. She has a type of weed that it's called aphrodisiac.
Oh wow.
So guess who bought some aphrodisiac?
Wow.
Oh yeah. I haven't tried it yet, but I'll let you know.
Wow.
It's worthwhile.
Stepping up the game.
Stepping up my game with
influencer bullshit. Sneaky freaks, if you're listening to the show, you know that my mother and me experience something called anxiety.
A lot. And let me just say, Cam, I found the solution.
What is it, Moot?
The Calm app.
The Calm app. The Calm app will teach you how to meditate. If that was a goal for this year, they can help you do it. What do you like about Calm, Mom?
I wake up in the middle of the night with high anxiety. I turn on my Calm app. I have found my favorites. They even have little categories like sleep, meditation, anxiety. I turn it on. Jerome talks to me. He calms me down within seconds. He even calms the dog down. The dog hears his voice and goes completely to sleep.
They are the #1 mental wellness app to give you the tools that improve the way you feel. If you go to calm.com/sneaky, you'll get a special offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription, and new content is added every week.
That's incredible. 40% off. Wow.
Over 100 million people around the world use Calm to take care of their minds. And Calm is ready to help you stress less, sleep more, and live a healthier, happier life. For listeners of the show, Calm is offering an exclusive offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/sneaky. Go to calm.com/sneaky for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/sneaky, SNEAKY. That link is in the episode's description. Mother, I believe it's time for Hit On or Shit On.
Woohoo! Nothing I like better than a good hit on or shit on.
Hit on or shit on is the segment of the show where we take your wonderful listener comments, wherever you leave them, and we determine whether they are a hit on or a shit on. So, Mother, this week we have some that you helped collect.
I curated a bunch.
This was from on TikTok. This Brad Lesh says, this is one of my favorite TikTok series. And then Teabaggers said, Teabaggers. Okay, Teabagger says, same, I'm obsessed.
I like that. That's a hit on.
That's very sweet. That's definitely a hit on. We'll take it. Thank you for all the TikTok love. If you want to follow us on TikTok, just search for Sex Talk with My Mom on TikTok. We got a voice message that said, I just like your mom to give me her number. 616-318.
All right, don't. Yeah. I just thought that was pretty funny.
Why? It's a simple request. He just wants you to give you your number.
Yes, I'm not giving someone who I don't know my phone number.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. By the way, he already has your phone number, given that he's literally leaving you a voice message.
That's on the Google phone number.
So does he think that me peering on is not like horny? He's not gonna add to the horniness of it.
You're supposed to help him with his cause.
Okay, well I'll work on it. You fucking piece of shit.
Oh my God.
Okay, we got another question or another comment from Gina, who says, "Hi, I love your show. I watch on YouTube, but also listen on Spotify when I'm driving or can't watch. I found you on TikTok. Thank you very much, Gina. That is what we love to hear.
I love that we are now able to be seen and heard.
That is very sweet. Thank you, Gina. Lick my drip. Lights are real. Great. Said, love the
Lick my drip.
Love the pod concept. We was just talking about the convos moms and sons need to have. Shit be hilarious, but low key real too. Great content. Thank you very much, Lick my drip.
But what was underneath that was really like exactly our mission, which is like to enhance those conversations.
To be hilarious and to be low key real.
Low key real.
That's what we're going for.
I don't want to be low key real. I want to be high key real.
That no one says high key real.
Well, maybe someone should.
I'm glad that you didn't gather many more
those are
hit-ons or shit-ons.
Why? Because you're tired of the ones that are all hit-ons?
Yeah, usually you're either bringing hit-ons to yourself or shit-ons to me, telling me I look like fucking Lin-Manuel Miranda or someone that has a small dick or, some these types of things.
No, we had a good run there of people being nice, except for the ones that, said that that I'm an old lady.
I had a shit-on recently. I heard two podcasters talking about how if they could come back, they're two women. If they can come back as men, what would they prefer to be like as men? And they're going off about how, I would like to be this like very powerful lawyer and drink Manhattans, and then one of them says, but if I'm short, fuck that shit, and very anti being a short man.
You're not really a short man though.
I'm 5'9" on a good day.
So why
it's not so high. It's not so high.
Why,
I think it is. I think it is the average height for a man, actually, in the United States.
And by the way, I know some of the coolest people that are short, and I know one guy who's probably like 5'2", and his wife is like 6'2".
Oh yeah,
maybe one of the happiest marriages I know.
So I got very in my head about my height after hearing this.
Oh,
look at that! Average human height is 5'6" for a male.
You're tall.
No, but that's across the world, I think. I think in the U.S. it's 69.1 inches. What is
69. How do you like that?
Oh, God. Oh, it's about 5'9" inches tall. Okay,
there you go.
Literally average
so
tall.
You're average.
But,
so what are you getting in your head about?
I'm constantly seeing on these fucking dating apps, no, if they're under 6 feet, take a pass. So I ratcheted up my fucking height by 1 inch to 5'10".
It's like me telling Deez I was 1 year younger when I met him.
I know. I'm thinking, they're not going to know I'm 1 inch shorter. And also, if I wear boots or something, I got that 1 inch coming.
I don't like to hear this insecurity anyway. That's nonsense.
No, I felt very insecure.
You better not do that
this.
anymore.
You can't even get the swipes going. If some of them are fucking, they got limits on there.
Let me tell you something. anyone that has limits because of someone's height is going to remain single for a long time.
I agree with that. I agree. I appreciate that support, mother.
It's real.
It's
real key.
That's real key.
Real talk. Real talk.
It's low key real talk. Mom. All right. That's
Okay.
hit on or shit on. Thank you for all your comments. Please leave them wherever you engage with our podcast.
And don't let those heightism people bother you.
The heightists?
Heightists. Is that what it is?
Yes,
Heightists?
that's the heightist. Mom, is it time for Mom's News?
Mom's News. Mom's News.
Mom's News is the segment of the show where my mother shares groundbreaking, earth-shattering, need-to-know info. What do we got this week, Mother?
So, Cam, this was brought to my attention by your sister.
Okay.
I don't know if she thought of it as Mom's News, but I think it is very interesting, especially in light of our conversation so far, in terms of people being insecure in the bedroom.
Okay.
This is in reference to a new movie, I guess, that Emma Thompson is in. And I looked up Emma Thompson's, the actress's name, her age, and she is 63, is the same age as me.
No, Emma Thompson is not fucking 63.
Oh, it's not Emma Thompson. It's...
Emma Thompson is...
Yeah, 63.
Really?
Yeah. Who are you thinking of?
Oh, is this the same...
Emma Thompson is a very famous British actress and one of the best actresses around.
Yeah, okay, all right.
She was in Sex Education, I believe. Anyway, very well-respected person. And this is in the British Vogue. And she says, I don't know if you've ever taken all your clothes off in front of a young person you don't really know, she writes. But I'm here to tell you that it's a little bit intimidating. The actor who appears naked on screen for the first time in her career in Good Luck to You, Leo Grande, describes playing a frustrated widow who hires a sex worker to help expand her horizons as the most bracing challenge I'd been offered in years. And she reveals that it taught her about the importance of respecting our sexual desires. Wow.
Wow.
What do you think of that?
I like that a lot. So she's pushing her comfort limits right there. Pushing out of the comfort zone. By the way, she's not the same person that was in Sex Education.
No. She's a different Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson is a very famous British actress.
Anyway, whatever. Emma Thompson, I know. The older British actress, she's getting naked in this movie. So you're telling me that she's learning about herself.
I think that's important to, she's saying the importance of respecting our sexual desires. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I was single again, if I would pay to have a younger guy in bed with me.
You think you would hire someone?
I don't think I would, because I don't think I hate to say this, have to, or whatever the case may be. I got too many people chomping at the bits for it. But it would make me feel safer to do it, because I would say I'm in charge of who this person is, and I can... And I set limits and know that they're more like, less like, I would say less likely for things to run afoul.
Do you, if you were in Emma Thompson's shoes, would you feel comfortable getting naked in front of these younger people?
I would.
You would feel fine getting in being,
yes, I would
for the movies and shit like that.
I would request a strong filter on my stomach.
Really?
Yeah.
Your stomach.
My stomach lately, since the pandemic and 3 kids, has definitely not looked as tight as it once was. And I would request some darkness as my friend's kind of lighting.
Oh, my God.
But I would say that I'd be pretty comfortable, I'd say, with the man, because I don't really think men, and you can vouch for this aspect, I don't think men give a shit if you have a couple extra wrinkles or...
Like a flying fox.
Flat tire around your waist, or your butt is not. Like, I was with someone at the pool the other day. She refused to she wouldn't take her skirt off in a bathing suit because she said that she didn't like the way her ass looked. I'm like, who's looking at your ass underwater?
Oh my God. It's about embracing our bodies.
Would you be uncomfortable? When you get in bed with a woman, older, younger, whatever, is there anything on your body that you are insecure about?
No, maybe my left foot is a little fucked.
Oh,
But
so someone's going to go, I'm not having sex with Cam because he got a left foot that's fucked.
Yeah,
Are
a
you
little
talking about
bit.
the toes that cross over each other?
Yeah, the one that you destroyed because you put shoes on that were too tight when I was at 1 year old.
No, it is not what happened at all. Okay. First of all, that's
Created
bullshit.
insecurity for the rest of my life. Yeah, that one.
This is not true because your grandfather had the same toes as you, and I didn't have anything to do with his toes.
Okay, all right. Thank you for Mom's News.
Mom's news.
Mom's news. And now, folks, it's the time of the show that you guys have all been waiting for. The time of the show where, even if you have COVID, you're going to get your dick up. You're going to get that pussy wet. It's Cam's Uppers.
Cam's Uppers is the place to be. Fun living is a life for me.
This Cam's Uppers is a segment of the show where I get to share something near and dear to my heart, something that my mother typically finds
boring
or
dull as fuck,
or
sometimes a little entertaining.
It's Cam's Uppers. This is a quote that I enjoyed from Fantastic Fungi.
I knew it. I was going to say something with the mushrooms for sure. You're bringing it all back around again.
A little mushroom head, bringing it full circle to Netflix's Fantastic Fungi. They talk about how survival of the fittest might be true. It is true that the strongest individual will survive.
Are you talking about the strongest mushroom will survive?
For anything. Why do I'm in the middle of a thought, and then you come in here, guns blaring.
Well, what does that have to do with the mushrooms?
I don't know, Mother. I can't finish my fucking thought to even tell you what it means.
All right. What is it? Go on. I'm sorry.
I'm going to start it all over again.
Okay.
Survival of the fittest might be true. It's true that the strongest individual will survive. However, communities are stronger than individuals, and we've forgotten this. It's a kind of a paraphrasing from Fantastic Fungi, but basically, these little fungal organisms, these what do they call those long fucking networks of mushrooms? Those
ew.
Underneath every tree, there's huge networks of these mushrooms. The mushrooms are the fruit bodies, so it's actually networks of mushrooms underground.
So they have stems and shit like that underneath the ground?
Imagine like these very extensive roots throughout the whole entire ground. They're kind of like the circulatory system of the I can't remember what it's called now. God,
you got COVID brain, Cam. What's the paraphrase of what it is?
Mycelium networks. They actually help trees communicate with one another. They pass nutrients from tree to tree. I mean, they basically keep everything. It's an amazing thing. Anyway, it just shows that in community, we are so much more powerful than just individually, and we fucking forget about this shit.
I think that's true.
Anyway, that's and I was thinking about that in my loneliness, in my COVID state.
You didn't have a community with you.
I didn't have the community. I was very much just fighting this fucking thing alone. It could have been helpful if I had a
community of sick COVID kids.
That's right. Yeah. Or yeah.
I think that's probably, in terms of COVID, what's so isolating.
The worst part of it, yeah.
The worst part about it is that you can't hang out with other COVID people because very rarely do people get it at the same time. Or you know.
Yeah. I was alone for a good week. Oh. Anyway, I want to thank everyone who's made this show possible. That's Cam's Uppers. I want to thank everyone who's made this show possible, including all of our Patreon sneaky freaks.
Patreon.com/sextalkwithmymom is where you can support us. That's Patreon. We'd love to have you join our sneaky freak fam.
We got a new patron named Nicholas from Greece. All the way from Greece, cool. Coming in hot, helping us make this show. Thank you so much for joining our fam, Nicholas. And also, we do these very fun monthly hangouts over Zoom. So if you want to chat with us and chat with all the other sneaky freaks, join us at patreon.com/sextalkwithmymom. Also, if you want to support the show, we really appreciate any ratings and reviews wherever you are listening to this. Even if you're on Spotify, give it a rating. If you're on podcast app, please leave us a rating and review. We love it. If you need help figuring out how to leave a rating and review, go to ratethispodcast.com/mom. I'd like to read one to you.
Yeah, I think we just got one that I was reading.
This one said 5 stars, hilarious and informative. I love Cam and his mom's candid, raw dialogue about sex. It's playful, informative, entertaining, and inspiring. I want to be his mom when I grow up.
Yay!
Highly recommend if you want a good laugh and want to learn something along the way.
Thank you. Who is that?
That was Jamie. Jamie.
Thank you,
F.
Jamie
Thank you
F.
so much, Jamie F. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this playful, informative, entertaining, and inspiring show.
Excuse me. Do you hear? She said she wants to be like me, so don't be so mean to me.
I think there was a missing line here that said something. Like,
I want to be like Cam.
His Cam, the young son who's not at all neurotic and who's very inspiring.
Well, I would say you handled the COVID thing very well, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
It's not easy.
Thank
You weren't even
you.
in your own home. That's the key. You weren't even in your own home. You were in someone else's home.
Yeah, I was in a friend's house because I was traveling, and luckily that person was left the house, so I hid it to myself. Anyway, that's the end of the show, Mother.
And let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and having some fun with the little fungies.
Ooh, the little
fungies.
fungies. I love it.
Never know when I can come up with a rhymer.
A rhymer?
I got one. You guys, we know you can have so many podcasts to choose from that you're mind-blowing. And the fact that you choose us means a lot to us. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us here on Sex Talk with my mom.
Thank you very much. We love you very much. We'll talk
love
to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You were listening to a Pleasure Podcast. For more from our Sex Podcast Collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.